po yung computer. Wala akong prompter. Kasi okay lang. Ngayon magagawa mo. The show has to continue.
Yeah.
So, wala. You just keep going. Buti na nga lang na may memorize ko yung kanta ko. And we've all grown so dependent on those prompters, no? And for a show, for example, like ASAP, where you learn a song the day before, it's a necessity. But as much as you can, if you're doing, say, a group number, when you get your sheet, concentrate on your part and where you come in and listen over and over and over and over again para when you get there, kesa hodang masira yung prompter, load yung prompter, make deadma, the fact that it's not even there. It's like, okay lang, sige. Sige, go lang ng go. Back in the day naman kasi we memorized everything.
We had no teleprompters before. Ganun ang training.
Wala. And I'm trained in musical theater where you don't have a choice but to memorize everything. You know?
What's it like, okay. Rehearsals are like that, very professional.
Very professional.
What are the other things that you notice when you work abroad? Like, say, you did Miss Saigon. What's that like? What's it like working with somebody who's, yung mga world-class people, di ba? What's it like?
You'll be surprised how un-diva-ish a lot of stars really are. I had to do benefit in London. Yung mga kasama ko, there's Hugh Jackman is singing, and he really is that good looking. There's Hugh Jackman, Julie Andrews, Bernadette Peters, Judi Dench, Jonathan Pryce, a whole lot of stars na masasabi natin matitingkad.
Julie Andrews.
You know, they all make bit their own clothes.
Walang
alalay, walang assistant. They're all bringing their gowns and they all show up for rehearsals. If rehearsals are, say, at a certain time, you'll know that they're there, ready to go. Ready na sila. And no diva attitude, no temper tantrums. Basta they'll just be where they're supposed to be. Okay, wait for their turn and, wala lang.
Wow.
And they know what they're doing. And not a prompter in sight either, anywhere. You're expected to know what you're supposed to do.
Look at that.
That's your job. Trabaho mo yan. You're supposed to sing Les Mis or Miss Saigon or whatever. Then that's your job.
Pero nung nag-concert po kasi sila nanood kami, ang dami nilang kinanta, tapos wala rin.
Kanta nila yun.
Memorize namin. Songs namin kasi.
Hindi kasi actually merong...
Usually. And the mistake, I think, is that it's become so necessary. Parang naging kinakailangan na ng singer.
Tamad na yung mga singer.
Nagiging tamad na mag-memorize, nagiging tamad na. So it's like, sometimes I'll play with a teleprompter operator. I'll switch my spiels around just to confuse her during a concert. And she'll be like, saan ka pupunta? And I'll be like, oh, don't worry, I'll find my way home. But, I'm not going to depend on it 100%. Just for my own, because it's nice when you have a connection with your audience, for example. When instead of having to keep looking at this thing, you're 100% with the audience that you're trying to connect to. And it's nice, because when the audience is sitting there and you make eye contact with any one of them, it's like, wow, she looked at me here, and it says something. That's why Martin Rivera gives the thrill to audiences, because he goes and connect with the audience. He'll get somebody, he'll talk to that person. It's very Vegas,
So in other words, the less dependent you are on anything,
the better.
right? The better.
The better, and as much as possible. For example, who here have done like gigs, band work, or whatever, You don't have a prompter either. You rehearse and rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. Wala naman kayong kodigo, wala naman kayong agent board, wala kayong music stand. Basta. And it's just so much easier. Yeah. There's so much more freedom when you're not crippled by this. But sometimes you need it then if you're doing, a show na you learn it like, minsan hours before, here's a song. But here's one for you. While I was doing Miss Saigon, during previews, which is a 3-week time period na parang they'll try everything and anything out to see what works for the show. I'll get lyrics that afternoon rehearse it that afternoon, perform it that night. And minsan I'll
You
get...
mean they change the lyrics
They'll
of the
change
song?
the whole song. So I'll have lyrics pasted on my mirror.
Uh-huh.
I'll be like,
After you've gotten used to a certain
after
type
you
of-
get used to a certain
Set of lyrics.
page
Oh.
of lyrics. Sometimes they'll
gosh.
change the whole song.
Oh my God.
Sometimes you'll have a solo one night, you'll have a duet the next night. Ganon. And I was 18 years old. Happy birthday, by the way.
Ano, talagang
As
freak
in,
out kayo,
like that.
ganun?
And this is, okay, so I have a new set of lyrics. Kim, here's the change. Or the change will be in bold. So that I know where it is. Go out, sing it. The next day, the lyricist will knock on my door. Do what you did from the night before. What? I have to now forget what I did last night. And do what I did the night before last night.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like, I have to now dig up the lyric from the night before and put it back up on my mirror. Parang, what, are you trying to kill me? I'm like 18 years old. Gusto ba niyo kong patayin? So, there's a lot of pressure. And I think that's one of the reasons also I was chosen. Because I can learn a song in 20 minutes. Lyrics and melody. And it's a skill that you can learn. It's repetition, and it's really listening, and it's...
So your
paying
theater
attention.
background was really very important.
Oh,
See,
invaluable.
Uh-huh.
Hindi ko talaga mabigyan ng kahit anong
how old were you when you started?
Theater?
Yeah.
7. Actually, rehearsal 6. I turned 7 during rehearsals. of
My
the
gosh,
King
beautiful.
28
Ginagawa ko
years.
po dati yung post na naman ganyan.
Nakaponi ko.
Oo. Ginagawa ko po yung dati, bata pa po ako. Because my mom used to take pictures of me and I'd go, it was my birthday. I was 4 years
Feeling Lea
old.
Salonga ka.
Yeah, I was 4 years old. Tapos, yeah, I had her album. Tapos nakaganito ako, Monkey Smile.
Wow. Do you have that picture?
Well, I think I have it somewhere. It's just not with me though.
Okay. Nakatago somewhere siguro.
Did you start in theater just
Yeah.
for yourself, or just that your parents brought you into it? Or?
How did I start the theater? One of my cousins, isa sa mga pinsan ko, was a regular with Repertory Philippines. Tapos sabi niya sa nanay ko, we're auditioning Children to the King and I. Gusto mo sumali? Si Lea. Papayago mo bang isali? So wala, I went, I auditioned. I sang Do, Re, Mi from The Sound of Music. And Bibot Amador, who was sitting. And my voice is just naturally loud. So, malakas lang ang boses ko. So, she looked at me and said, do you know anything, like a speech or whatever? And I said, I know my Girl Scout oath. It's like, okay, do it. So I raised my right hand and I recited my oath, and I got called back to come back and audition some more. And then I got hired.
Did you audition for Disney?
Actually, I did.
How does that go?
Okay.
How many people audition and all of that?
How many rounds?
Yeah.
I had only one round. I don't know how many people audition. Kasi pag sinabi nilang your audition slot is from 11:10 to 11:20, you don't see anybody who auditions